Today's story is by the Black Volumes. Links in the description below. It's hard to explain my horrifying situation to people. I spent a good 10 minutes mulling over a clear, succinct title for this post, and I reckon I've probably still raised a few eyebrows. I get it. After all, how can somebody follow you with their back turned? I first noticed him at a train station. A tall man with a tweed jacket, corduroy trousers, and stringy, scraggly hair that appeared to be falling out. He was standing with the tip of his nose mushed against the wall, an unmoving, faceless figure. I smirked to myself, finding him no less odd than the majority of drunkards in the city on a Saturday evening. But when I was getting off my train later, I noticed him again. The same tweed man, as I now call him, pressed up against the back doors. He was still turned away from me, but I recognized the unusual attire and the unkempt hair. Still, I thought nothing of it at the time. He had been on the platform. Why wouldn't he be on the same train? It was only as I walked home that things took an unnerving turn. A lone woman walking down eerily silent, dimly lit streets at midnight. It's not something I ever make a habit, but I've always felt safe in my hometown. I live in a sleepy village. There's no nightlife, not even on a Saturday night. And on this particular evening, there wasn't a car or a soul in sight. Not even the sound of animals rustling in bushes or trees. Absolute silence. So, when the clomping began, it was carried clearly by the still night air. I whipped my head around, squinting to make out the source of the sound. Along the hilly road, which stretches for a good half-mile, there was a lamppost. One solitary lamppost for the entire road. People have complained to the city council about it, but, like I said, the town's nightlife is always dead. Few people wander the streets once the streetlights come on. I was about 100 yards past the lamppost, wandering through the blackness, when I took another glance over my shoulder, and then I finally saw him. The tweed man. He was walking backwards through the glow of the streetlight. I might still have chalked it up to drunken behavior, but there was something utterly terrifying about his movement. The man's joints seemed to click in shaky, disconnected ways as his limbs jolted backwards, propelling him along the pavement. His torso ricocheted from side to side, and his arms hung limply in his oversized tweed jacket. The tweed man was somehow only a few yards behind me, still turned away and reverse striding. In a petrifying moment that instilled horror into my heart, the abomination started to bend backwards, almost revealing the face that he had been concealing. His elbow joints cracked ghoulishly, and his frightfully thin fingers stretched towards me. I still hear the wheeze that emanated from his lips as those inhuman fingers graze the nape of my neck. I hear it in every waking and sleeping moment. A nightmarish wind from a place far beyond our world. Screeching inhumanly myself, I slipped free of the contortionist's grasp and hauled my body down the street, gunning for my house. Fumbling with my door keys, the most terrifying thing was the continued silence. Not a sound from that horrific man. But that didn't comfort me. There hadn't been a sound when he inexplicably appeared directly behind me. So I refused to turn around. I slotted the keys into the lock, flung the door open, and shut myself inside the house, panting maniacally for a solid 10 minutes or so. I half expected to see him outside the door, or my front window, but my street was lifeless. I wish that were the end of it, but I've been seeing him everywhere, always with his back turned. Sometimes standing still, other times walking backwards in that unhinged, dislocated manner. Train stations, city streets. I'm certain I once saw him behind the water cooler in the office. My colleague laughed and said nobody was there. I try not to be on my own, but crowds don't seem to stop him from coming ever closer. Last night, I thought I saw him in the corner of my room, a silhouette in front of my bedroom door. I screamed in terror, but the man was gone when I turned on the bedside lamp. What do I do? The police were no use, but they never take stalking cases seriously. And what would they even do to protect me from a seemingly supernatural horror? I can't describe this man beyond his clothes. I haven't even seen his face. I have a feeling that nobody lives long. After seeing his face,